Welcome into the bonus episode of the Power and Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Shirley. Today, I want to talk to you about my experience in going into an escape room and what it really spoke to me in terms of the qualities and characteristics of leadership and really what that means. So I want to tell you what I experienced as I was in a team environment. It's a nonprofit that I am on the board for, and it was a group of us that helped to assist this nonprofit, and we were all together and we did a team activity in the escape room. And one of the activities was that you had to unlock a lock that held a box. Now, this lock was unique in that it's not like a regular lock where you could just do numbers and twist and turn it and try to figure it out. This lock was, in fact, a lock that was directional. So it goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, it goes to the other side. So that's how the lock would open. So the lock, we had to find how to open it because there was a major key to another door that was inside this box that was attached to the lock. So on the walls, the same thing that was on the box, because if anybody understands an escape room, it's all clues and cues to other things, and you have to kind of be a problem solver and try to figure things out and understand where to go and what to do. So it really makes you think, and it's a little bit of stress in there as you're doing all of this, right? So what winds up happening is that the same paint that's on the top of the box is the same paint that's on the walls. So those walls were cues or directions on how to open this particular lock. So it was myself, and it was actually my daughter because she's part of this nonprofit as well. And so we're trying to open up the box, and we're trying to use the directions of the paint that we see on the walls, and we're trying to figure this out. And we're doing all of this. We're doing up, down, backwards, forwards. So we're with the lock for 20 minutes, trying to figure everything out. And so one of the person that leads the nonprofit, he came over and he tried to help us, but then, we didn't get it and we're trying to figure things out. So he walks away, and then he comes back. So he comes back and he's looking at the wall, and he's looking at the lock, and he's looking at the paint, and he's trying to figure out what goes first, what goes second, what we can do to open up the lock. And he comes over and he was like, you know what? I think that it should go in this order. And he saw little tiny X's on the different paint pieces that were on the wall that we didn't see. And so he said, okay, go to the right, go to the left, go up, go down. He's telling us how to maneuver the lock so that it opens. And I just thought that was such a profound revelation as I begin to really consider it and ponder the experience at the escape room, because I said, something, we looked at it for 30 minutes. We looked at it for 40 minutes, and we could not figure it out no matter what we did. He came one time and he took a look at it. He couldn't figure it out. He went away, but he came back again. And I just thought it was so profound. And God gave me the revelation and said, a good leader, right? He came alongside of us and he tried to help us, and he tried to help us to open it up, but he couldn't figure it out. He walked away. He did something else. He came back. And then it dawned on me how he was looking at the picture. He's looking for an answer. He's trying to solve the problem. He's trying to give us help. He's trying to aid us. And it's like he looked at it and he saw something different. And because he saw something different, he was able to give us the key, to give us the pattern that unlocked the lock, and it would open up the box and it would take us into the next phase of the escape room, which we needed to go and continue with. So God was just like speaking to me in terms of leadership. And he was saying how leaders have the ability to see a different perspective than what you see. And their perspective, if you surrender to it and if you understand that you take their lead, you take what they're saying, that they're able to unlock doors for you that wouldn't ordinarily be open. But it's because they can see what you can't see. He was able to see the tiny X's that represented a 1, a 2, a 3, and he knew what pattern to follow. So sometimes it looks like a leader doesn't know what pattern to follow. It doesn't look like they know the direction or they know the course of action, but really and truly they have a different perspective than what we have. And sometimes because our focus or our purpose or our vision is just on the lock. That's all we see. We see the fact that we have to open this lock, right? We see the fact that I'm going to try everything I can, but all the while he's thinking, he's thinking, he's really mulling over everything, and he's looking at the best course of action that we could take in order for us to unlock this. And that's exactly what a leader does. They are inherently a visionary. They are inherently able to see what other people don't see. So on today, I want to remind somebody that whether you are a leader yourself or whether you are underneath a leader or whether you are like a Joseph in administration that sit under a leader, know that sometimes there are times that they have a different perspective. There are times that they see what we cannot see, and they're called to unlock doors and unlock things that we could not open readily on our own. So as I share that, I really want you to consider those that are in your life. And even if you are a leader, how your different perspective can help those that you lead. And I want to give you this other revelation. Now, the second part of this was we was in another area of the escape room again. And this time we had figured out all of pretty much a lot of the clues and different things like that. But there was one thing with like kind of like to describe it would be like a table with holes in it, and these holes had specific vials that went inside of it. And once again, here we are trying to figure out match-up patterns, match-up colors, do whatever we could do to try to just figure out, okay, what matches, what goes together, how does it work, what is the best way it can work. And so different ones of us came and we tried to figure it out. And we're trying to do different things, and we're looking at the colors and we're matching things, and we're saying, okay, well, it's the pattern around the vial. And again, if you know anything about the escape room, everything is symbolic. So it's very difficult to just like really understand where to put everything. So in this process, once again, the leader of the nonprofit, he comes over and he's looking at it, and he's looking at it, and he's trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to do? Now, mind you, we have come to the end, really, of most of the things that we were supposed to do inside the escape room. We wind up going into another room, and we're like at the ending phase of everything that we could do. So this is like one of the last things. So he's looking, and then he starts putting the vials like in the holes, like aggressively. He's putting them in. And at first I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, oh, are you following the pattern or whatever it is? And he's like, looks like he's following the pattern. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, he looks like he's following the pattern. And then when I asked him, and then he's like, actually, I'm not following a pattern. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just, watching, we're just kind of helping, trying to put things in other places. And then he takes everything and he's like aggressively, like kind of, because we're now at this point, we're running out of time, right? We're running out of time. The time is winding down. We've got through most of the activities. Now he's aggressively putting these vials like in all of the holes, like so aggressive, so fast, with such intensity. And I'm looking at him and I'm just wondering like, wow, this is so aggressive. I said, but I was like, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he seems like he knows what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, the door opened. And I'm like, wow. So the door opens, and it was all because he chose to take aggressive action and do things that, as I looked on, as many of us, the other ones in the room, we looking on, it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But in fact, it doesn't matter that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying everything that he can in order to get the door open, to make it work, to make sure we're not running out of time, to make sure we're coming within the time frame. And sometimes that's what it looks like. We think leadership or running a house or running a company or running a ministry or starting a business or doing entrepreneurship, we think that we have to know everything, and we think that everything is a pattern and a path, and some things are, but sometimes the thing that needs to happen to get the door open is pretty much everything. We have to put our all into it. We have to use every single skill, every single ability that we have, and that just reminds me of how these visionary leaders are. They see, again, I wanted to see a pattern. The other people wanted to see a pattern. We wanted to find out how the vials fit into each hole and what to do and strategically do certain things. And here comes, the leader and says, listen, no, we're going to just put it in everything. We need to get something to work and the door to be open. And sometimes we can resist. And we can resist change, and we can resist what we need, and we can resist it from the people that we need it from because we don't understand their actions. So on today, I want to give you a reminder that whether you are a leader and you have to do whatever it takes to get that door open for people that may not even understand what you're doing, that you would continue to chart that course and chart that path, because truly the door will open, and not only you will come out, you will also come out with the people that will come out behind you, and they'll have a new level of respect and a new level of understanding of what it takes to actually get doors open. So I pray today that this bless you, and that my escape room experience gives you some insight on some leadership principles or things that you can do differently, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you're a leader in business, whether you are a leader in your home, whatever area you find yourself in. I encourage you to subscribe and like and make it an awesome, awesome day.